We're back, and today we're going to, in fact this week, we're going to work on a charcoal drawing. It's called a charcoal reduction drawing, and I'll explain why as we go along. But I do want you to start by knowing that charcoal is very messy. So I want you to see what I've done here. I have laid down newspaper, all right? I've also got a board covered with newspaper. You don't need that, but I do this so that I can lift this up and show you things. So that's the purpose of that. You will need your, out of your little baggie, you're going to need your kneaded eraser, which looks like this, your charcoal stick, which looks like this, your popsicle stick, your charcoal powder, the image that was in your little baggie, and you need a half a sheet of paper. So if you go inside your bag, there's some really, really large drawing paper. You'll use that next week for your own. But for this week on the practice, I want you to just do the half sheet. So you can see there's, full sheet, half sheet. I want you to just use a half sheet of this for our practice. And the rest can just stay in your bag until you're ready for it. And the first thing I'm going to do is tape my picture down. And if you remember when we did the watercolor, I had you tape it just barely on the edge. I'm going to have you do that with this as well. Just barely on the edge. And one last place right there. There we go. So this doesn't move while you're trying to work on it, all right? You are going to start with your charcoal powder. Be really careful when you open this up. It can get everywhere. It's very messy. And there's plenty in here for you to do your project next week as well. You'll do one on your own. You'll do one with me. For today, we're doing the one with me. You're going to take your popsicle stick and you're going to get some of that charcoal powder and just put it on your paper. And then set this aside. It doesn't take very much. It's probably like a half a teaspoon if you're measuring, but I'm not measuring. I'm just putting some on. If I need to put more on, I will. What you're going to do next is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to rub this in. You're going to rub this in until you get a nice, good, even gray throughout the whole paper. And this is why you want newspaper underneath you or something underneath you, is because some of this is going to get off the sides. We don't want to get it all over the house. In fact, this is a great project to do outside if you're able to take your technology outside and do this step by step with me. This is a step by step, which means you want to do one step at a time, pause your video, and then follow with the next step. And I already see something I forgot, and that is just a tissue. Let me grab one. All right, the tissue is for several things. One is to get all that charcoal off your hands. Now, you're going to get really messy on this. I suggest you don't clean up until you're done, but you can at least wipe it off with the tissue, all right? Now, I'm also going to use my tissue for this. Once I've got it rubbed in, I'm going to also use my tissue to kind of blend it in a bit so it's nice and even. Turn your tissue over maybe. I probably had more charcoal on there. Well, I know I did. Had more charcoal on there than I probably needed, but it works. And there we go. So now I've got my entire board, or my entire paper covered with that charcoal dust, or that charcoal powder. All right? Now, I'm actually going to do my picture upside down so that you can see it better. But here's the image. And if you really want to get good at drawing, and you want to be able to see things accurately, it's actually a good idea to draw upside down. So you could hold yours upside down or put it in front of you upside down, You want to have this where you can see it at all times. I'm going to place mine right in front of me where I can see it. You won't be able to see, well, maybe you will when I put this down. But I'm going to do mine upside down so that you can see it right side up. All right? So here we go. You can sort of see where it's at. It's sitting right there. Maybe I can put it like that. That'll be good. In fact, maybe I'll even tape that down. That way I know it won't move and you can still see it. All right. So that's taped down in place so that I can see it clearly. It's right in front of me. Got my paper ready to go, and the first thing I'm going to do is take my kneaded eraser, especially now that I've kind of wiped my fingers off a bit. I'm going to unwrap this kneaded eraser. It's got some plastic on it. Yours should have some on it too, unless you've already removed it. And fun thing about kneaded erasers, they're called kneaded because you can knead them, which means you're going to stretch and pull them. If yours is anything like mine, it's a little bit cold right now because it's been sitting in the room by itself. So as your fingers warm it up, as your hands warm it up, it will become softer and more pliable, kind of like gum in a lot of ways. But anyway, what's neat about a kneaded eraser is that you can shape it and form it. And what I'm going to do is actually roll this a little bit into somewhat of a point. All right? So I've got kind of a point on there. That gives me a drawing utensil. So the reason this is called a reduction drawing is because you put stuff on and now you're going to reduce it or you're going to take it away. You're going to subtract it, however you want to word that, but they're called reduction drawings. And I'm looking carefully at my image that this is a nice image. I chose this one specifically because it follows the rule of thirds. This third line, that goes right on one of the thirds, so the apple is sitting right on that focal point that would be right there. If you were to mark it, that's the focal point right there, because that's where the table runs across the other way, which is the other third going up and down. So here's our horizontal third, here's our vertical third, and our apple, which is the largest of the shapes, is right on that left focal point. So what I want to do is go to my paper and say, okay, if I'm visually dividing this in thirds, I'm going to have a line right here, all right, and I'm going to have a line across. I'm looking at my picture all the time. I'm going to have a line right across here, okay, and this is called blocking it out. You're blocking out your picture. Now, my table goes from this point kind of over towards the corner, so I can kind of put that in as well. And the very front of the table is very, very dark, and it goes across the bottom like that. So I'm just blocking in all the areas of this picture. Now, over here, I didn't need to do that. That's where it's really nice. You can just come back over with your charcoal and erase that part. So right now I kind of have this blocked in, all right, as to where those items are sitting. And then I'm going to start blocking in the actual shapes. If you look carefully at your picture, your pear is almost smack dab in the middle of the picture. And it goes about halfway down the top of the table. So if I go halfway in my picture and then about halfway down, this is where my pear is sitting. And it's shaped, and it goes up, let's see, not quite, well, with the stem included, it's like halfway, a little bit more than halfway between the table, the end of the tabletop and the top of my picture. And the actual pear itself goes about halfway. So if I go from the end of my table here up this way, halfway, that's about where my pear is going to go to. And then it has a stem above that. So I'm going to get the shape of my pear in here just by using my eraser. And I know that the apple actually overlaps the pear. Well, that's okay. We'll get that in here in just a minute. We have kind of a circle at the bottom of the pear. Look for simple shapes that will help you to build this. There's my pear. Okay, pretty much a circle on the bottom, a slightly triangular on the top, and then my stem, of course. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and do my apple. If I look carefully at my apple, over this way, it goes a little bit more than halfway. So I know it's going to come over about here. I know it overlaps my pear a little bit here, barely. It's a little bit taller than the circular part of the pear, but it's shorter than up here, so somewhere in between those two, we're going to have this. If I look at where it sits on the table, it's a little bit forward from where the pear is, so it's going to sit a little bit lower on my paper than the pear does. And it's pretty much circular as well, so I get this nice circular apple. So now I've got my apple and my pear blocked in. I'm going to go over to the pepper. And the pepper also sits farther down on the table than the pear does. It sits about where the apple is. So I can kind of go across this like this and go, all right, that's where my pepper is sitting. It's not quite as tall as where this circular part of the pear is, so just below that I'm going to mark where the top and bottom of the pepper are. And let's see, we've got the front of the pepper, which is somewhat circular, goes kind of over towards the edge of the other side of the paper, and has kind of a, what is it, a hexagonal shape in a sense. All right, it's quite a bit over from the pear, but we also have this back part that we see in perspective that comes around like this. So this pear is laying down. There is a little bit of gap between the pear and the pepper, and you can see the back of the table right there. So there I've got them blocked in, and we've got the pepper's got a nice long stem that just barely starts above where the table is and comes in like that and has kind of a little circular thing around it like that. So now we've got them all blocked in. Now that they're blocked in, we're ready to really go for this. Okay, we're going to start with the 5 properties of light. The first one is highlight. So what I want to do is look carefully at my picture. I'm going to clean up my eraser by stretching it. That helps you also clean your eraser. And I'm going to get a nice good point on it again for my highlights. And if you look carefully at your picture, you'll see where the highlights are. We've got highlight on the pepper, really big one right here at the top of it. Okay, and you'll notice you just press a little bit harder to get some of that white really off. We can always go back in and add whatever we need. I'm just doing the little highlights that are around that sort of scalloped edge of my pepper, just catching where all the light areas are. And same thing on the stem. There's one edge of it that's a lot lighter than the rest of it. It's not super light, not like those other ones are, but it's got a little bit. And I want you to see, I'm going to smash my thing here now so that I can get a straight line. I'm going to go along this. Sorry, you can't see that until I move it, but I'm going to kind of go along that stem to just get a little bit of a highlight up there. Then we've got our pear, and it's got some highlight right up here at the top along this side, and it's got a little bit through here, and then kind of a little, I'm kind of wiping that one a little bit. It's got a little bit of a highlight right there that kind of goes down very lightly this way. We also have a really good highlight right there. up by where the stem is.